Same to similar rules as last. Characters must leave an impact with me. Won't do NPC characters that don't contribute anything. Yes, still arbitrary. Yes, I still don't care. Sorry that both the Yakuza Kiwami 2 OST rankings and the Civilization Revolution Pro 2 review are taking so long. Both require special assets to obtain in order to make those videos. As usual, I'll present the candidates and rank them from there. Alisa, Laura, Emma, P, Milliam, Mint, Vivi, Angelica, Toa, Instructor Sarah, Instructor Beatrix, Sharon Kruger, Irina Redford, Scarlet, Claire Raidfault, Vita Clotilde / Misty Des. As usual, honorable mention goes to the wonderful ladies of the 25.5% who watch my videos that have subscribed to me. Make sure to remain subscribed if you want more of this content. Also, one thing of note is that after this review, I'll be doing a combination of a top 5 list of OST tracks and a highlight compilation series for 2022. Also, I decided to add a general review as well. So last place, if you ever watched me stream my gameplay, is pretty damn obvious, and she's last on sheer principle. Irina Redford. Fuck this goddamn bitch. This bitch has such a cute daughter, and not only does she neglect and abuse her daughter, but she'll directly ignore her when she arrives with her classmates, friends, and obvious crush in Rain. Irina is such a bitch that she loops around to being a completely opposite species in being a cougar because Reen immediately catches her interest. A fan could put in Alisa having one of her inner thoughts be, "God damn it, Mom, stop stealing my boyfriend." And you could convince me that such intrusive thoughts of the Sunsusi were canon to the actual story. That's how much of an abusive cunt she is, to the point where Irina would make it a point to steal her daughter's clear boyfriend, or at least crush at this point, just to spite her. Meanwhile, if I had such a cute daughter, like Alisa, I'd be like Count Viscount, as he is with Laura. Wait, how did that get in there? Well, that's embarrassing. Next is Scarlet. Yes, she's sexy and plump. Yes, I find her hot. Yes, I put her second to last. No, I don't care. The fact of the matter is, sexy babes get bountiful representation in this game, and these sexy babes are strong and empowered in their own right. Trails of Cold Steel is a wonderful example of how you can write strong and powerful women without making them toxic. Take note, Western creators. People like Sarah Valentine or whatever are strong and empowered, but it's still a woman. Like, the fact that society are celebrating women for the same traits that society hates men having due to it being toxic just shows that empowerment is performative for the West. What does this have to do with S/Scarlet? Absolutely nothing. If anything, I'm using the Chewbacca defense to give more relevancy than she actually has to the story, with her discount clue looking tits and ass. She's legit just a female Team Magma member looking tits and ass. I half of the time expect her to summon a Numel or Torkoal. I just wish there was more than Toxic Terrorist VP Stock Photo 1, because her design is striking, sexy, and looks memorable, and she has an incredible Japanese say. My main problem with her is that less interesting characters than her, like Milliam or Emma, get exponentially more time than her. I can only hope Cold Steel 2 gives her story more time and energy. Now, I know I used the next ranked character as justification to make Irina the worst place, but she's placed here straight up because she can't make up her fucking mind. Alisa Rainford. My god, is her character bipolar as fuck, and start and stop with her arc. She can't decide whether she's googly eyes at Rain, or she can't forgive Rain for something that wasn't even his fault to begin with. Oh, and adding the strain of Rain not being the typical ecchi protagonist, keeping his arms and hands well away from Alisa's body, while worrying about Alisa being injured and solely for that reason alone, makes Alisa all the more unlikable. I'd be fine if she was coarse in personality overall, just because the main protagonist happened to love-rue her tits. I can't even say to love-rue her tits because that just sounds ridiculously hilarious, and I didn't expect it to be when I wrote the script. It's just a weird thing to say. It's a weird thing to deliver as a line. Anyways, because that would be a legitimate reason to be pissed. I mean, but it literally shows in the dialogue, okay, Rain, arms and hands out where she can see them, which conveys that he just wanted to help someone out of goodwill and concern. But it gets worse, because both apologize awkwardly, then both ask each other why they're apologizing and laughing. Now, if that was it, and it happened in isolation, I'd find such misunderstandings funny and heartwarming. This sort of Alisa thinks Reen's a pervert mentality legitimately continues after the fact. At least I'd know to stay away from Alisa if she were the all men were trash and perverse at all consistent time. The reason why I refer to her as a Sunsussy, because her tsundere trope disease is a stage 4 terminal cancer levels of ridiculous. You don't even get much of cutscenes where she works out her feelings. They could have saved her if they gave her some sort of connection to personal and emotional conflicts. Maybe establish a proper connection that Alisa is a tsundere specifically because of the writer's neglect and Irina's neglect and abuse of her. That maybe she's so mentally inconsistent because she has no semblance of knowledge of her own feelings. After all, she has really good role models like her grandpa and Sherrod, but an incredibly horrific one in Irina. But they never bothered to make that connection. Maybe 2 will rectify that. But this is a rankings video exclusively built around 1, so shush. Milliam. I hate this dumb fuck. I really, really do. But thank fuck she's a side character. She's not even in the main cast until the last quarter, giving more time to the other characters who deserve it more. That being said, God shut the fuck up, Milliam. She's so offensive to my own personal ethos that talking more about her will boil my blood pressure. No, I don't care why she's like that. I don't care if there's a good reason. I can tolerate belligerents and toxic personalities like Alisa's, because I have some semblance of ability to want something other than to get her off my fucking screen. I'm willing to tolerate toxic people if I can philosophically get to a state of compromise, because then I can advocate. But it's the contrast of what and why such irritations occur. If it attacks me with a calculated pathology like Alice's start and stop writing, that's one thing. But here's the thing. On a note of a personal ethos, need I remind you that if she wasn't a blithering retard, she could have snagged C. Fuck, the Chancellor himself knew C was Crow. He just couldn't nail him down in time. Milliam had months upon months to figure out her suspicions. It's not like there were many people even I suspected. It was a short list, and the only reason why I didn't suspect Crow myself is because I didn't put in the effort. I wasn't limited by retardation, but rather that I was so conceited that I couldn't see past cliche military gambits like the idea of Chancellor Osborne pulling a Palpatine, or Duke Cayenne pulling a Caesar. If I wasn't so up my own ass about it, maybe I would have suspected Crow. It's just that I got so used to my own ideas that I would not have suspected him. But Milliam, at least I had a fucking excuse for being wrong. You didn't even provide names of other suspects. The only person on screen that you ever suspected was Crow. So ultimately, C almost succeeded because Milliam was a blithering retard. In fact, the Chancellor knew it was Crow to the point where he had Arundel set Milliam on Crow to begin with. There's just so much stupidity that the only reason she's placed higher than the others is because she's more consistent and not entirely irredeemable to an average person's sense of right and wrong, unlike someone like Irina. She's useful mechanically. That's a small but ultimately meaningless compliment. Get her off my fucking screen! Emma, on the other hand, is an example of why Chekhov's gun is not always meant to be fired. They sprinkled in bells and whistles of mysteriousness, and they really don't do much with it. She's basically a witch. Big deal. Really not that big. Actually, it's not that big of a deal in the world of Cold Steel. The only value to this character is that it assigns positive value to my memes about her being Hermione Granger. This kind of character is what happens when Kojima smokes one too many blunts and goes from savant brilliance all the way across the moral event horizon right into an eldritch abomination's worth of up their own ass. I don't care how mysterious you try to make her seem. I don't care how many Dutch angles you give her or you give her a talking cat. She's boring and bland as fuck. The only reason why I rank her so high on the list is she looks damn fine in her Don't Say Lazy attire for the festival. Yes, I will continuously reference K-On! Yes, you are indeed right that I don't care, and you cannot stop me. Only makes me wish she'd stop wearing those stupid fucking glasses. Like, I get that she probably wears it for her eyesight, because it would be fucking stupid if it were for her to look cuter, but her Don't Say Lazy attire shows that she looks better with A, her hair untied and fully down, and B, not wearing those stupid fucking glasses. Next is Mint. I only rank her so highly because she apparently got a cult following off the NPC's cuter than main characters effect. You know how sometimes people fixate on random NPC characters for whatever reason? Like Tina, for example, in my playthroughs of Sword Art Online Hollow Refragment. She's basically that. No other logical reason, really. She's a nothing character and she's an NPC, so I have zero issues with her being unremarkable, because that's the point of an NPC to begin with. Instructor Beatrix. She gets to be so high for two reasons. A, she's in the final stand scenes with the other instructors. B, she's a sniper. Enough said. Moving on. Laura. You know, she's very quirky. She's a very quirky and weird girl, who comes across at first as a personality more wooden than George Washington's teeth. But there's just something really awesome about a tomboyish gallant knight girl that Yuri adjacent girls from rich girl society is getting wet over. Really tickles my Yuri boner. Not to mention that lately I felt the same way as those Yuri adjacent girls from rich girl societies. For some reason, I'm really into the female knight archetype right now. Don't know why, but not even I ask questions to my mental state. Not to mention she's so adorable that even her Viscount father just straight up cuddles and dotes upon her the first moment we see him. Though she's not technically void of feminine girly traits either. She's just a really oddball girl. I rank her highly, but sadly there are better girls, and more adorable ones too, than Laura. That is no disrespect to her, but rather a nod to the quality of characters, personality, and story-wise that she's not down to hear. Vivi. Rawr. No, literally. That's all I need to say about the matter. No, I will not elaborate further. Sharon Kruger. This next lady is how you portray Iris Hart to sheer perfection. She's proof that the writers of this series know characters like Pluty and Iris Hart well. Yet you also know how to trim the fat. She's sweet, kind, and seemingly derpy on the surface, with the hidden dark side of hers shown at the end. Severing Chains. What a peculiar and paradoxic nickname. Ladies and gentlemen, this next tier is a bit messy, or messier than the rest, depending on who you are, as the rest of the girls on this list are so close together in general quality that I could, at any time, seismically shift the rankings depending on how I feel. I hate to put Fee here at the bottom of this tier, but my biggest problem is how her main arc pretty much ends at the visit to the Imperial capital. She does not get as much focus as other characters this far up the list. Her dynamics with Reed and Laura are wonderful, and I'd like to think about how Laura said, "I like you" to Fee is a light form of Yuri interest. Maybe I'm reading too far into context, but that's the vibe I'm getting. The soft confession, if you will. Moving on. Claire Cutie Raidfault. Man, I miss my cuties already. And I'm already missing Cutie Claire from Trails withdrawals. I did say I would do a full playthrough of Mary Skelter, but going back to Mary Skelter finale after the absurdly high quality Cold Steel 1 and the super fast and intense Modern Warfare Remastered campaign, it's impossible for me to get it done currently because the withdrawals are too much, man. I'm legit so into Trails that I'm experiencing withdrawal-like symptoms from not playing it. Claire is one of the girls. Why? Cute, refined, hardworking, just that overall, while she is a character that looks stunning, acts mature, I am so hooked onto girls like her that I need more. I know my rankings are a bit arbitrary, but that's why this is a rankings and not a review, because making this a review format is utterly impossible. These rankings lists can only be presented by me in a semi-subjective manner. Angelica. Yes, I know how much I loved every bit of her character and presence. Yes, it does upset me quite a bit that I have to place her here rather than higher out the list, but there will be an argument I'm going to make to justify it down the line. I enjoy Angelica because of how unapologetically lesbian she is, without being a stupid lol representation lol. She's Yuri as fuck, hot as fuck in her tight skin suit, thirsts over anime girls, has badass techniques, is physically strong as she's a martial artist, and rides a freaking motorcycle. I know I'm abusing this phrase, but she is my everything. I just wish she was bi so that I could get in on the action like I'm Rambo suffering a Call of Duty Cold War Adler mind fever dream. That is how intensely I want her, but not as much as the next ones on this list. Psychotic one man on the lam. Bronze medal goes to Kumbanwa Mistides, also known as Vita Clotilde. Her more elegant outfit is garish and filled with intricacy, while being striking, beautiful, serene, and unique in presence. whereas her Misty Death attire is so fucking cute and adorable. Misty Death dresses up how I would expect my GF to dress up in public while around me. Chic, beautiful, fashionable, and cute. She's also incredibly playful, fun, and enjoyable. Her vibrant personality is almost second to none. She stands amongst the best. For that reason, she's placed here, but not first. Lastly, her late game appearance shows her to be featured more in the future, so she will continue to be a featured player in the long run. I can't wait. I'm about to call an upset over in second place for those who watch my streams and how much I thirsted over this goddamn woman. Instructor Sarah Valenstein. Sexy, bodacious, intense, mentor, mature, sweet, kind, caring. And the list of nouns and adjectives goes on. Her presence overall is fantastic, and it's quite believable as to why she's so popular. She's an integral part of the experience of Trails Gold Steel 1 due to where she's aligned in the interpersonal dynamic of our beloved cast members. She's a key fixture, and clearly the most important part is that she's fucking breedable. I want to fuck her so hard that her lower body goes numb, but she's given the upset by a character I never expected to. Seems like a common baseline in these videos because you'll never see it coming. For you, it's Toa from the student council. Yeah, the time I spent with her was incredibly heartwarming. Her pet-like nature is sweet and guiding senpai, but the ending part of the story, combined with the bonfire story cutscenes, ultimately make your investment the single best. I did not expect the end game to get me as, this invested in Toa. Completing her bonding events gave me more fulfillment than I ever expected. The great thing about all these women is that they all vary in personalities, nuances, backgrounds, empowerments, toxicities, sexiness, and cuteness that paint a unique tapestry within Trails of Cold Steel 1. With the rankings out of the way, I can now work on a general review of Cold Steel 1 and a top 5 OST track list coming up, which is no longer going to be a top 5, but top 11. This has been a crazy but fun ride so far. See you next time. And just remember, ladies and gentlemen, that my will is absolute.